All right, so I got a great question from a sales manager. And the sales manager is having problems with a member on the team. He's being a problem child. He's creating all kinds of drama and everything else. But the issue is this guy is also one of his top 3 performers. And he said to me, I don't know how to deal with this guy. What do I do? Do I axe him? Do I keep him? What is the best answer? So this is a great question. So here's the deal. If you look at top teams out there that are really good at what they do, from special forces like the Navy SEALs to championship teams to top sales and business teams, whatever it may be, they have these common tendencies, right? So number one is they're driven, and it goes in this order of priorities. So the number one priority of these top level teams is that they have a mission, right? The mission is the number one driver of everything that they do, and they're going at that all the time, right? So number one is the mission. Number two, it's the team, right? Number two, it's the team. And then number 3 is the individual. So the individual and their needs are at the bottom, right? Everything is done in order for what's best for the mission and the team. And then it goes to the individual, right? So what happens is when you have these people who start acting with these big egos, acting like they're above the team, above the mission, acting out, doing selfish things, again, they're putting themselves ahead of the team and the mission, right? Their own wants, their own needs, their egos getting in the way. Now, what you have to do as a sales manager is you have to get yourself a system like this where you have the mission, you have the team, and have the individual. Now, the first thing you have to do is you have to look at your system, because most of the time people act the way they do not because they're bad people, but because of the system. And this person probably doesn't understand these concepts, right? And they've probably been rewarded for being an individual and everything else. So you have to own that, right? You have to own that, and you have to just sit down and explain to them what you expect out of them, right? And really just be clear about those things. But also, don't sugarcoat it with them, right? Point out the exact and specific examples of how this guy's being a problem child. Tell him, hey, look, I think some things are unclear because, you're acting out in certain ways that aren't beneficial for the team and what we're doing here. But let me just lay out to you what we're trying to do here, just so you're clear, and lay that out to him. And then be specific to him about how he's being detrimental to these things, and give specific examples. Hey, on Tuesday when you did this was not good for whatever, right? Just give him a bunch of examples, specific examples of things that he did at that time, how it was not beneficial, and just show them how it is him being a problem child, right? So just get him in check like that, but you gotta own it, right? And give him the opportunity to get better, because it's a pain in the butt to go out there and find another top level sales guy, right? You wanna keep this guy if you can. So work with them. And, check in with him in another month, 2 weeks, whatever it may be. Have these check-ins with the guy and see if he's getting better. If he's not getting better, you got to cut him, right? Or if he's not receptive to it, he's giving you attitude about it, doesn't improve, you got to cut him. Because, again, you can't have anybody come ahead of the team or the mission. Now, I've seen on different teams, both in business and athletics and whatever it may be, when you get rid of that one problem child, a lot of people freak out because, sometimes these problem childs can be very talented, right? And they can produce and do some good things. But I've seen time and time again, when you get rid of that problem child, production overall as a team and a company and morale, everything rises, right? So don't be dummied by this person. Nothing's bigger than the team, the mission, and a good system. You can put people in there and they'll keep going on. I think as the army or the military says, is the green machine will keep rolling on. It's something on those lines, because again, their mission, their systems, the teams, it's bigger than any one individual getting in the way and trying to do things. So that's what I tell you. That's what top sports teams do. I'll give you another example of that. New Zealand All Blacks rugby team, they have a motto, and it's no dickheads. One of their mottos is no dickheads. So if there's someone in there who's being disruptive and being a dickhead, they're kicked off the team immediately. And there's a lot of, they've talked about how there's been a lot of players who are good enough to be on the All Blacks team, but they had the reputation of being a dickhead, so they weren't allowed. So you can't have those people there. You got to cut them, and if they're not going to improve, and that's it. So that's how I deal with that. This is Kerry Sullivan with another howtokickassetsales.com tip of the day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.